What's up, guys? After a little vacation, we took a 2 week vacation. Like I said earlier, if you didn't see my earlier video about the T-shirt giveaway, which we'll talk about later on, um, we took a week off for Thanksgiving. We needed to be with our families, and I don't know about Matthew, but my work is like kind of hectic on Thanksgiving week. And then last week, it's totally on me because it was a crazy week at work. I was under the weather, had people out. Yeah, it was just not a good week to do a podcast. That's the last thing I was focused on with the podcast, and I didn't want to get up here and just be like, like that. But anyway, we are back
You
in
know
the
what's
night.
sad? You know what's sad?
What?
You already sound like that.
Oh, dude, just shut up. You go kiss, go kiss your sister like y'all did Sunday. Ties like kissing your sister.
I didn't see my sister. Yeah.
I told there's a Commanders fan at work, and he when I went in this morning, I said this is the first time I'd seen him. 'Cause I was off Monday. I said, "Yeah, did you have fun kissing your sister Sunday?" He said, well, and this is an older guy, and he said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You never heard him say a tie is like kissing your sister." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I've heard that. I have heard that." He said, "But I didn't know what you did." And all he wanted to talk about, he's a Celtics fan too. He watches them. I don't watch the NBA like I used to. He's like, "That's all right. The Celtics gonna take it all." I'm like, "Okay, we'll see." Anyway, if you, I didn't introduce my co-host as
Yeah,
always,
I
Matthew.
interrupted.
Matthew, yeah, he interrupted me like
Yes.
Matthew, welcome back. It's nice to hear
Thank
your
you,
voice
Stevie.
again.
Good to hear yours too. Good to be back up here talking some sports and talking some junk. Whatever comes first.
Junk. Well,
Huh?
in the 2 weeks that we were off, we I have been working behind the scenes trying, and I may have two big interviews from some former NFL players. One is a former Steeler that you probably have seen on ESPN, and the other was a Chicago Bear, but he's probably more famous for where he played college at, played at Notre Dame. And I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I don't want to jinx it. I'm still haven't got a definite yes, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. All right. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. Spent time with family. Ate a lot of food. That's always a good thing. It's a good
Oh
break from work. That's the
yeah,
most important thing.
yeah, the day off from work, but
Yeah.
the holidays. I love the holidays, but it's you get so ready for it. It takes so long to get ready for it, and then it's over just like that. In a blink of an eye,
Yeah.
everything you did is done. I mean, and you're just like, really, it's all done. Now Christmas. Have you started Christmas shopping yet?
I have, and I've pretty much got everything on Amazon.
You
I mean, 'cause it's easy.
you're about finished too, ain't you?
I'm about finished.
You
I got
s-
everything lined
you
up. I just got
suck.
to do one more thing, and I got this checkout
You got
online.
mine right. You got mine right.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the mail somewhere.
All right. You suck, by the way, for almost being ready. I haven't even started, so
Oh
I've
wow.
got to get rolling, and I will this week. Um, yeah, that's what 19 days. Jeez, and then we're going to be in another
Yeah.
year, and we got a little something else going on tomorrow too, right? What's
Tomorrow.
tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? Didn't you tell me something was going on
Oh,
tomorrow?
oh yeah.
Oh,
Tomorrow's my birthday.
oh, what's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Oh, you want me to sing happy birthday to you?
You know what? For the views, yes.
Maybe we'll do that before the show's over with. I
If
may have
there's,
some I may have some alcohol back here that I can get to where because that was what it would take for me to sing live on Facebook and Twitter.
if we
Um,
get 100 likes on this post, we'll do it.
right, right. We'll see about that. I don't think I have to worry about that tonight. Um, all right, getting started. Before we get really into the news, there's a little topic I wanted to talk about, uh, and I'm not going to say the name because I haven't asked if I could use his name. Um, Friend of mine, friend I've known for years. He's a well, I don't know who he's a fan of. He used to be a Panther fan, but he said now he doesn't really pull for anybody. I was like, okay, you're using one of those the excuses when I call out your team. Um, he's been texting me the last few weeks about Kenny Pickett. Of course, if you don't know, Kenny Pickett is the rookie quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he was like, oh, he's a bust. He's a bust. He's not going to be any good. We're not even what? Well, we're halfway through, well over halfway through the season. He
It's a
hasn't
little bit.
started he didn't start every game of the season. And this is a rookie quarterback. And you're coming in on a team on offense. Your offensive line is not anywhere near high caliber offensive line. You've got some weapons. Yes, you've got some weapons at wide receiver. Your running backs are pretty good. Najee's good, but if you don't have the line, it's going to be tough. And your offensive coordinator is god awful. Um, but my thing is, and my response back was, he's a rookie. He hasn't had enough time to adjust to the NFL yet. He's you got to give him more time than 7 or 8 games before you say, oh, he's a bust. He's a bust. He has improved over the last few weeks. Granted, it's been a short pass, and they did that with Ben though. The offense, Matt Canada's offense is dink and dunk and all this stupid crap. It's so predictable. I've said several times that I wish the Steelers would fire Matt Canada and he would be one of the coaches of the teams that I play against every year in high school football because I know I'd be guaranteed at least one win because I can pick out what he's going to call. Um, my question is, when we got into the debate about it, nothing bad. We didn't argue. We just got into a debate about how long how long does a rookie quarterback have? How long a leash do they have before you say, okay, that's it. We've got to move in a different direction. The GMs and the organization say we've got to move in a different direction. Now, back in the day, when you had guys like Troy Aikman, or even going back as far as Terry Bradshaw, number one overall pick in the NFL draft back in the day for the Steelers. And Bradshaw went through a couple of rough years and almost to the point where he was benched and wanted to get out of Pittsburgh. But luckily, he recovered, got his starting job back, and the rest is history. Troy Aikman started off 1-15 his rookie year, not the best rookie year at all. And you saw what happened there. Three out of 4 years they won the Super Bowl in Dallas, which he had a great team around him. But the Steelers had a great team around Bradshaw. My point is, how has that changed to this decade, to this generation? I know a few years back the Cardinals selected Josh Rosen as quarterback, and they didn't even give him a year before they traded him. But that was because they had somebody else coming in. That was because they had Kyler Murray on the board, and they had a new coach coming in too. So my question for you, Matthew, and everybody out there listening: what is an acceptable amount of time now in this day and time in the NFL for a quarterback before you call him a bust, a rookie quarterback, to adjust to the NFL, to adjust to the speed, the difference in the speed of the NFL, to be able to pick up the offense of that team he's playing for? What's the time frame before a organization realizes, hey, you're not going to make it. We're moving in a different direction?
Stevie, I still think it's like 3 years. I think you got to give at least 3 years for the quarterback to go through its losses, to go through its good games, bad games, so it can lay out and figure the mm, figure the the professional league out more.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
can't
mean,
just throw a guy in there and say, okay, I got a little echo. Hold on, where'd that come? Hello. All right, I got to cut this. Hold on. You hear that echo? Matthew. All right, hold on. Matthew. All right, we have a little technical difficulties here. So we're going to see what's going on with Matthew.
7:43 p.m. Button. Stop cellular. 7:43 p.m. Button.
Hello.
7:44 p.m. Cellular. 4 now live 200 cellular. 4 now live 250 cellular. 4 bars. Signal strength. Now live 200 cellular. 4 bars. Signal strength. Now live 252. 3 Wi-Fi bars. Voice over off.
Matthew.
Voice over on. Search. Music. Widget. Stat. Mumford and Sons. Radio. Button. Adult. Portal. Agezo. Adult. Portal. Agezo.
Matthew. Yeah, that echo is coming from Matthew's. And can you hear me? Hello. All right. Well, we'll get Matthew straight. Yeah, and to me, it's like Matthew said, 3 years to get adjusted to that professional system, to the speed of the game, to the play calling. I mean, because it's a big difference between the NFL and college football. And guys, look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen's first year in the NFL was not pretty. They were ready to run him out of Buffalo, and look at him now. He's an MVP candidate, on the verge of. You know, a lot of people think they're probably going to be one of the teams to beat come playoff time. So, you know, just because, and I know people say, well, you're a Steelers fan, so you're going to take up for him. You know, and another conversation that came up in this debate was we were talking about quarterbacks. Kurt Warner, he never did. This is a quote. He never did anything after he left the greatest show on turf. Well, he only took the Cardinals to the Super Bowl when nobody else could do it. You know, it was on the verge of winning that Super Bowl. I think we got Matthew back now.
all right, I don't know what was going on. My headphones are like mixing up with my other speaker. I don't know what was going on.
I heard some crazy stuff coming out of it, boy. There was some voices. I thought I was getting possessed by the devil or something. Where's that about? I was getting ready to hightail out of here. But
that's all right. I would have too.
Anyway, another thing that this guy talked about, Matthew, I just said, Kurt Warner's name came up, and he was talking about he was a mediocre quarterback that never did anything after he got out of St. Louis or got away from the Rams. So my thing with him was he took the Cardinals to the Super Bowl when it was on the verge of winning the Super Bowl against Pittsburgh. But so I guess that when no other Cardinal had done that before, so I guess that was pretty much nothing. That would have been he was in his third Super Bowl. So I mean, I mean, it's different. It's something, and everybody's got opinions, and I'm not saying his opinion is wrong. That's his opinion. I've got my opinion. He's got his. So, but I think I'm like you, Matthew. I think it's got to be 3 years. I think you got to give a guy 3 years. You know, that first year, it's not going to be. Nobody's going to come out and be like, who can I say? All right, let's take for example Ben Roethlisberger. His rookie year, He gets put in week 2 after Tommy Maddox gets hurt. He reels off 13 or 14 in a row before they lose in the AFC Championship game. But the difference there, Ben was a game manager. He didn't have to make the plays. He had enough talent around him on defense and offense where all he had to do was just not turn the ball over.
Right.
And that's what he did. But that didn't mean he was that far ahead of quarterbacks in the NFL right then. But anyway, that's what like Peter Griffin said, that's what was grinding my gears this week. And I wanted to get that off my chest first thing. So
Meh, meh.
there you go, Peter.
Yeah. All right, get on with the show. I can't do it.
Let's get on with some NFL news. First of all, Baker Mayfield let go by the Panthers after they traded a first-round pick. He was released by the Panthers yesterday. Didn't take long, though. Today, the LA Rams pick him up off waivers. With Matthew Stafford with a spinal, what they're saying is a spinal contusion, probably out for the rest of the year. He's on injury reserve. So Baker Mayfield could possibly start Thursday night against who is it they play Thursday night?
I can't even remember.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. No, they don't. Yeah, the Raiders. They play the Raiders. You know what? I was looking at my schedule. I was looking at for the Panthers up here, and I was like, he don't play for the Panthers anymore, you idiot. You just said that. Raiders versus the Rams. So what I heard a few minutes ago was that they were talking about realistically when could he be in the starting lineup, a starter. And they said he could get a shot Thursday night. Now, this is Wednesday that we're on here. So he was on a plane from Charlotte to LA. They sent him a playbook to study while he was on the plane trip from Charlotte to LA. So you talking about cramming for like a midterm exam. That's cramming for a big exam right there. You got to be ready to probably won't even get to practice with his team, but possibly could start. It's crazy.
Ooh, that's gonna be tough. What if he goes in and like just balls
Lights
out?
it up.
Yeah,
that would be hilarious to me.
it would.
I would love it. I would love to see him light it up.
Me too.
I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. Raiders are kind of on a hot streak right now too. So
about time.
We'll see about that. Let's see what else we got here. Start by Stafford out for you. What do you think about this new Pro Bowl format? I don't know. Have you heard about the new Pro Bowl format?
I've heard about it, but I haven't really looked into it.
So it's going to be Pro Bowl games. It was announced during this past Monday night's Manning cast with Eli and Peyton. Do you ever watch that, Matthew?
I watched the Eli Manning show.
Do you watch the Monday Night Football, the simulcast with him and Peyton?
No.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Wow, you're missing out, bud. You really need to watch that. But anyway,
I will.
They announced that they are going to be coaching against each other. Taking place in Las Vegas in February, the first ever Pro Bowl games. It'll be a week-long celebration of player skills that spotlights flag football. The AFC NFC competition will culminate in a flag football game featuring Pro Bowl players at Allegiant Stadium on ESPN and ABC on Sunday, February 5th, 2023. So it's not going to be a regular football game. It's going to be a competition all week, and then the last game is going to be a flag football game between that team.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they say that Peyton and Eli are the head coaches. They'll have star-studded coaching staffs, which will be announced in the coming weeks. But yeah, if you get next Monday night, it's so much better than listen to Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. You listen to Peyton and Eli. They talk about parts of the game. They have special guests. Yeah, they come in there from time to time. But yeah, I enjoy it a lot more than I do, of course, Eggman and Buck. But anyway,
Yeah, I'll look that up.
that's not saying a whole. Yeah, they're not two of my favorites. Buck and Eggman are not two of my favorites. So the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. Okay, I'm freezing up now. There we go. What is going on? Okay, here we go. We're back up. Sorry about that, guys. The Packers and Aaron Rodgers evidently back on good terms again because the Packers are saying they want Aaron Rodgers back next year.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying they want him to be back. I guess after he had a good game this past week, he had a pretty good game against Chicago.
Of course. I mean, Chicago.
He owns Chicago. He made
Right.
sure he told them that after the game too. So I guess now they're back on good terms. They want him back, because a couple of weeks ago, you guys missed it while we were out. Aaron Rodgers got a little banged up against who was it that beat him up so bad? Anyway, bruised some ribs. Didn't know if he would be back. It was the Eagles. Didn't know if he would be back this week and be able to play this week. Caleb Love comes in. Caleb Love. I always do that. What is that dude's name? Anyway, Love comes in as his backup, a rookie quarterback sitting biding his time, comes in and leads them down the field, has better stats than Rodgers. So that automatically started the debate about, is Aaron Rodgers done as a Packer? Well, I think he proved against the Bears. He had good, like I said, a good game. So now they want him back next year. So it's going to be a lot of ups and downs, I think.
Yeah.
Now and next year with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. It's going to be a lot of stories to tell about that. But, all right, what about your boy OBJ? Where is he going?
We don't know yet, man. Like, I'm almost tired of looking at the headlines and stuff because, like, 1 minute he wants to go to Cowboys, 1 minute he wants to go to New York. But I just seen one that said he wants to be a Giant. So I don't know.
He was
I
in
think
Dallas.
he's going to Dallas.
He was in Dallas this week. And they had the trainers and their doctors check him out. What I heard a few minutes ago was that they're saying he would not be ready till January, mid-January. So Jerry Jones' comment was, we need something when we make this decision that's going to have an impact now. So it kind of sounded like, and this is Jerry Jones talking now, so this could be totally out the way. He may have been throwing you off, but it didn't sound like he was gonna. Didn't sound real positive that he was going to be a Cowboy. And to tell you the truth, right now, I don't think the Cowboys need him.
Me either. I mean, because what's his name? CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
And
they picked up in the offseason James Washington from the Steelers, who I hated to see go. And he got hurt the first, I want to say it was in preseason when he got hurt. And now he's getting ready to come back. So, they've got some weapons, but do you really want to throw OBJ in there right now? I know there's a lot of Cowboys fans out there thinking, "Oh, you're crazy to think we don't want him." But if he's not going to be ready till January, and you want something that's going to impact now, may not be the way to go right now.
No, unless, like you said, Jerry Jones is throwing his little chain puller out there trying to pull somebody's leg.
It could be that, but I don't know. moving on. Let's talk a little college football. The CFP, the college football playoffs, top 4. Do you follow that much, Matthew?
The college football, yeah.
Yeah. So top 4. Let's go. Number 4 is Ohio State. Number 3 was TCU. Number 2, Michigan. And number 1 is Georgia. Do you think they got it right?
Georgia State, yes. Ohio and Michigan. I think Michigan over Ohio.
Well, yeah, Michigan's definitely going to be over Ohio because they beat
Yeah.
the immortal crap out of them.
Yeah.
So, but you think TCU after losing they lost their first game to Kansas State in their conference championship, you think they needed to be in there over Alabama? Now TCU has 1 loss, Alabama has 2 losses.
I just not hope it ain't Alabama.
Yeah, I was glad to see Alabama was not in. Don't get me wrong, but everybody gets this thing, and that was another argument or debate I had with this guy about the quarterback thing. I made the comment to him as a Panther fan, said, and I said I would take Pickett over anything you have at Carolina right now. And he said, so you're saying Pickett's a better quarterback than Corral? Corral came from as a rookie, another rookie quarterback from Ole Miss, got hurt in preseason. And I said, well, right now he's hurt. So I know I wouldn't take him. I said, what makes you think that he's going to be a better quarterback than Kenny Pickett? He said he came from the SEC. So I said, so you automatically think a quarterback coming from the SEC is going to be better than any quarterback coming out of college? And, that was like he didn't really say yes, but he didn't say no either. And I brought up some quarterbacks. Drew Lock was one of them who was fizzled out. Kyle Trask. And I even brought up, this is how the whole – and this was we had talked about Kurt Warner, and I brought up Cam Newton's name. And he said, man, he's a former MVP. I said, Kurt Warner was a multiple-time MVP. So where's your argument there? So – I don't know. I mean, people put a lot of faith in that SEC thing, which they're the best conference in football by far. But I just don't think it's that much of a deal. Georgia is definitely the best team in college football right now.
Yeah.
Their defense is mind blowing. But any given Sunday, something can happen, or any given Saturday, I guess, something can happen. So you never know.
Right.
Them against Ohio State, that's going to be a tough matchup. Michigan against TCU, I think Michigan will take that one. But
yeah,
I'm not. I want to see Georgia win it again, but I don't know. We'll see. That Ohio State matchup kind of worries me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, but I think they can do it.
What about Deion Sanders going to be the coach at the University of Colorado?
I seen that, and that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
He's getting a lot of crap, though. He's getting a lot of crap because he left the school. He went to the school he was at, and I'm trying to remember the name of the school he was at. Hold on. Jackson State? Yeah, Jackson State. He went to Jackson State, which is a smaller school. And he turned it around. He gave undefeated season. He built a platform there, and now he's at Colorado. And people are giving him a hard time because he left that school, because it's a predominantly black school. And I mean, you can't blame the guy. I'm not a big
No.
Deion Sanders fan, but I also see what he he can get some of these guys that wouldn't have got that attention that were at that school at Jackson State. He might can get them in at Colorado and get them on a national level, but they wanted him to stay there and build Jackson State into a powerhouse, a Division I powerhouse, and get to that next level. And I'm sorry to tell you, I'm an ECU fan. I'm an ECU football fan, and there's a lot of coaches out there that have been at ECU, good coaches at ECU that have used that as a stepping stone, and they don't want to stay there and build a team like that into a powerhouse. They don't want to do that. They
Right.
want to step
Yeah.
into. It's all about the cash, baby. It's all about the cash. But yeah, Dion, I think it was a good move by Dion. I mean, I can't blame him. I'm not, like I
Me
said, I'm
either.
not a Dion fan, but I think he did a good job at Jackson State, and he needs to move on. If he's got that opportunity, more power to him.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get right into week 13, buddy. Week 13 started out Thursday night, big AFC East matchup. The Bills and the Patriots. Now the Bills have been struggling a little bit. Know, Josh Allen's still feeling the effects of that elbow injury. I don't think he's still right after that. But just that crazy game. We talked about that crazy game against Minnesota. Uh,
Hmm.
that they came out on short end of the stick there. But looks like Buffalo's kind of righting the ship. Buffalo dominated this game pretty much, you say. Um, Buffalo gets the win 24-10 on Thursday night at what Gillette Stadium at New England. Um, here's a guy. You want to talk about rookie quarterbacks? Last year, Mac Jones he had a great start to his rookie year, and then he kind of slowed down at near the end. But there's nobody talking. There was a talk with Bailey Zapp came in while he got hurt, did a good job, but nobody's talking about him anymore. So what is Mac Jones? Mac Jones is not having he's kind of hit that sophomore slump, I guess what you would say, with in the NFL. But nobody's talking about he's a bust, right?
Well, yeah, that's because he's a coach of Belichick. I mean, he's a player of Belichick.
That's right. So
People always assume that Belichick's quarterbacks are going to be outstanding because of one quarterback before, Tom Brady.
yeah, and we'll talk about him in a minute too. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the Bills first. Now they've moved into first in the AFC East. Patriots are last at 6-6. And this starting off Sunday, Eagles and the Titans. Now, Eagles lose that first game to the Commanders, and after that, I was like, this is gonna be a struggle for the Eagles for a while now. I think they're gonna be like, okay, and they did that first week after almost lost to the Colts. Had to come from behind to the Colts. Um, beat the Packers by 7 last Sunday night, but this game they freaking dominated. I mean,
Hmm.
in Tennessee, this is a Tennessee team that is what first in the South. You got Derrick Henry. They're which Tannehill. I don't know what to think of Tannehill anymore. Um, but you also got AJ Brown, who was traded in the offseason from Tennessee to Philadelphia. That looking to put it on his old team, and boy, did he do it! 8 catches, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. You gotta think they held Derrick Henry. What is going on with Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry needs a quarterback, and I don't think Malik Willis or Ryan Tannehill is going to be the answer.
Hmm.
People are stacking the box against Derrick Henry. 11 carries for 30 yards. King Henry, that's not King Henry numbers there. I don't know if he's banged up or what, but Jalen Hurts putting his name in the MVP race. 380 yards, 3 TDs, no picks. And the Eagles roll. Fly, Eagles fly. 35-10. Move their record to 11-1. Titans fall to 7-5. Both teams still first in their respective divisions. All right. Next up is two teams that we've talked about. We pretty much put a kiss of death on them at different times in the year. The Lions and the Jaguars. Coming into this game, Jaguars had come from behind and beat the Ravens, which I loved every minute of it, 28-27. The Lions, they had trouble Thanksgiving Day. Who did they play Thanksgiving Day?
The Lions played the Bills.
Yeah, and they were close. That was a close game.
It's a very close game. 31-30
Yeah, it was close. But the Lions have just been one of those teams like one little thing here, one little thing there, and they win a game. And then the Jaguars, they played awesome at times, and they played like crap at times. Well, guess what? This was their week to play like crap, and they definitely did that. The Detroit, it's hard to believe. Detroit is 5-7. They're like 3 touchdowns away from being like, 8-4 or something like that. There's been at least 3 games that they were in they should have won. They get to win 40-14. And I mean, people asked me this week, what about Detroit? People were sleeping on Detroit. I said, I haven't been sleeping on Detroit. Detroit's offense is good. Their defense lets them down at times. But this week they did, and they got to Trevor Lawrence. It looked a little scary one time on a sack that looked like Trevor Lawrence might be out for a while, but luckily he came back. But man, and then somebody said, "Well, the Lions quarterback is a problem." I said, "I'm not. Maybe last year, but this year, Jared Goff has been good. Jared Goff, and he was good on Sunday." 31 for 41, 340 yards, 2 TDs, no picks. And this is not a bad Jacksonville defense. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, where did this guy come from? 11 catches, 114 yards, 2 TDs, and they roll 40-14. Guess who's in second place in the NFC North right now? The Lions.
Second place, and they're 5-7.
And 5-7. Jacksonville is third in the AFC South. They're 4-8. Just total domination by Detroit. Who would have thought Detroit would? I mean, the offense was putting up numbers, but their defense finally comes to life and holds on. And man, maybe we'll see something. Maybe that's the start of something. And I know if you're a Detroit fan out there, you're like, Stevie, don't say it. You're going to put the kiss of death on them again. But yeah. So moving on. This is another NFC North game. Green Bay and the Chicago Bears. Green Bay comes from behind Aaron Rodgers, and he does the whole, I'm still here to Chicago. But yeah, Chicago had 10-0 in the first quarter. And I was like, oh yeah, it ain't gonna be good. They're gonna be putting love in for long, but they settle down. Still not big numbers from Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, let me tell you, Rookie of the Year candidate right now, Christian Watson, wide receiver for the Packers, catches another touchdown. He has been on fire since who was it they were playing? Maybe in the Cowboys, since the Cowboys game. He's been on fire since the Cowboys game. So watch out. That could be a possible Rookie of the Year right there. And what can you say about the Bears? The Bears are just the Bears.
Cursed by Aaron Rodgers.
Justin Fields. Yeah, he can run the ball, and he can dink and dunk. 20 for 25, 254 yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. He had a big touchdown run for 55 yards in the first quarter. But what's going to happen? I'm just afraid with Fields. It's going to be what I'm thinking is going to happen to Lamar Jackson. You're going to run him so much, you're going to get him hurt, and it's going to be a waste of talent there.
Yeah.
So the Packers moved to 5-8, third in the NFC North, and the Bears are 3-10, fourth in the NFC North. And then the Browns versus the Texans. Deshaun Watson makes his debut as a Cleveland Browns against his former team. You think the NFL planned that when they did the whole suspension?
Ooh. Could be. You never know. You
The
never
whole
know.
suspension ends the week he's eligible to play. The first week he's eligible to play is against his old team. Well, he was rusty, and there's a punchline there that I could go, but I'm not going to go there because that's kind of distasteful. Maybe he needed. Never mind. Watson's numbers not good. 12 for 22, 131 yards, 1 interception, no touchdown. Their defense saved Cleveland because I think it was 2. Was it 2? Let me see. 1 touchdown. Yeah, 1 fumble return and 1 interception return for a touchdown by Cleveland's defense, and that pretty much is the difference as the Browns get to win 27-14. Houston looks locked. Looks like they're going to be a lock to get the first pick. They were eliminated from playoff contention. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. And now you're getting to a point in the season where teams are getting eliminated from playoff contention. So every week somebody pops up. But the Browns.
Stevie,
Yeah.
What's Houston's issue? Like, what's going on?
Houston doesn't have a weapon, bro. Houston, I mean, you look at quarterback they've got a rookie. I think the rookie running back, that Pierce boy, is going to be okay. But they don't have any weapons on any side of the ball. You sit there and think about it. Think about it in your head right now.
Mm-hmm.
Houston Texans. If the Giants were playing the Houston Texans this week, and you were like, okay, I've got to come up with one player that stands out that scares me that could beat the Giants. Tell me that player's name.
Nobody. I had to look it up.
I mean, you look on that roster, there's nobody there, bud.
Yeah.
They benched the Mills kid at quarterback. They put Kyle Allen in. And I mean, they just don't have any superstars over there. Anybody that strikes fear, there's nobody when another team comes in there and says, "Oh gosh, we got to stop him, or we're gonna be in trouble."
You gotta watch out for that Kyle Allen. You gotta watch out for that Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen, yeah, Nico Collins, he's gonna hurt us. There's nobody there, bud, and that when you go in there like that, half the game's over right there. Because when a team comes in there and doesn't fear you or doesn't fear anybody, or not, I'm gonna say fear, but doesn't worry about
getting a little intimidated.
Yeah, they're not intimidated by you.
So.
Anyway, all right. Moving on to probably one of the best games of the weekend, the Jets and the Vikings. Jets have been surprising this year. They come in at 7-4. The Vikings are another surprise. They come in at 9-2. And this turned out to be a really good game. It kind of got away from the Jets in the second quarter. As at halftime, it was 20-6 Vikings. But, and I was watching because I got off a little bit early enough to see the end of the Steelers game. And when the Steelers game ended, this game was still going on, so they showed some of that. They had actually came back and it got within 5 and were driving down the field, 4th and goal from like the 12 with less than a minute left. And Mike White forces one in the end zone, and it's unfortunately picked off. And the Vikings hold on and get a 27-22 win. But, Kirk Cousins is really not putting up a lot of numbers. I don't really – this game was not a big game for the Vikings offense. Jefferson had a touchdown, but it was he had 7 catches for 45 yards. Not a Justin Jefferson game.
No.
I don't know. It was just, but the Jets, and I honestly think the Wilson kid, the rookie, and you're gonna and this is gonna come up. You're talking about a rookie quarterback in his second year, not playing well. But the reason he's sitting the bench right now is because comments he made after a game about, I think the Jets in the second half in this game, I forgot who they played. They may have picked up a yard or something like that. It wasn't many. It was less than 10 yards in the second half. And at the press conference after the game, they asked Zach, I think his name is Zach Wilson. Yeah. He says, they said, do you think that the offense put your defense in a bad spot by keeping them on the field so long? And he said, absolutely not. No way possible. And the way he was so dismissive of taking responsibility for it, the coaches saw that, and they decided that next week he was benched for Mike White, who was a folk hero in New York last year. He came off the bench and did, not a big name quarterback. He's got a plain Jane name, Mike White. I mean, but he came off the bench and won last week, and he threw for over 300 yards this week. And I think, you moving ahead, you might need to stick with this Mike White instead of Wilson. Wilson's ego needs to come down a little bit, and maybe sitting the bench for a little while will make that ego come down. All right. Ravens and the Broncos. We say this every week. What the heck is going on with Russell Wilson? I can't figure it out.
I don't either, but I think he's a bust.
A bust. I I don't know what else you could say. He's 17 for 22, 189 yards, no TDs, no interceptions. But they don't score a touchdown in this game. And they're up until the last minute of the game. They're up by 6, 9-3. And let's talk about Lamar. What have we been saying all this time? Lamar's going to get hurt. But unfortunately, Lamar got hurt. Knee injury. I think it's like a pulled PCL or something like that. He's week to week. And he looked like he was in a lot of pain when you saw him walking in the tunnel. So they put Tyler Huntley. And Tyler Huntley was a backup last year. And he I told somebody, he scares me more than Lamar Jackson does because he's a little bit more accurate than Jackson. But he ends up running a touchdown in with less than a minute left from 2 yards out, and the Ravens get the win 10-9. Not a whole lot to say about this game because
it was boring.
Yeah. The Broncos scored 9 points. You paid a guy all this money, and he gets you 9 points. I don't know if you saw last week, the Broncos were playing last week, and the defense was coming off the field. And one of the defensive linemen, I believe he's a defensive lineman, he's getting ready to walk by Russell Wilson. I don't even know if anything was said by Wilson or what, but this guy just stops what he's doing, looks over at Russell Wilson, and just screams at him. I don't know what he screamed at him, but it was almost like, you need to wake up. You need to do something. And Russell Wilson could just look at him and shake his head like, yeah, it didn't work, obviously. But, the Broncos fall to 3-9. Then the Ravens they squeak out that win, go to 8-4, still first in the AFC North. But that's not, I'm telling you, even with Lamar Jackson, that's not going to last for long with the Ravens. No. Then next we go to my boys, Steelers and the Falcons. We have a chance to have what we haven't had all year. Is called a winning streak. unbelievable. But Steelers start out, they played Monday night against the Colts. They did the same. It's the same blueprint they did Monday night against the Colts. They came out the first half, played lights out for them this year. I'll put it that way. They played a whole lot better than the Falcons did, just like they did the Colts. Took a 10-point lead going into the half, where they had a 13 or 14-point lead going against the Colts. And then the second half, they just let them slowly back in the game. Luckily, the Falcons took over deep in their own territory with like a minute left, and Marcus Mariota throws an interception to Minka Fitzpatrick, who wisely could have walked in the end zone, but wisely walks out of bounds, and the Steelers end up kneeling the ball and get the win. Here's a good story here, Matthew. I don't know if you know Cam Hayward, right? Plays for defensive lineman for the Steelers. But his brother is a rookie tight end. He plays for the Steelers as well. Their dad was a legendary running back in the NFL back in the day. His name was Craig. They called him Ironhead Hayward. Ironhead, I believe, passed away, and I want to say, and let me look this up before I tell you a lie, because this is something that'll. All right, here we go. Let me pull it up. Craig Hayward played for Atlanta. He played for 3 years in Atlanta. And he had, in 98, Hayward reported blurred vision in his right eye, was diagnosed with malignant bone cancer, reportedly a chordoma at the base of his skull that was pressing on an optic nerve. It was partially removed. He underwent 40 rounds of radiation treatment and later pronounced cancer-free, but he died. He was a cancer survivor. He ended up dying. I think it came back on him. They go back to Atlanta. This is where they spent a lot of their younger years.
Mm-hmm.
The tight end, the younger brother, which is Connor Hayward, catches his first touchdown pass in the NFL. Earlier in the day, before the game, they had gone to their dad. Their dad's buried in Atlanta. They'd gone to the dad's grave there. Isn't it? I mean, that's a good story there. That
it is, yeah.
The younger guy catches his first touchdown in Atlanta, where his dad used to play.
I mean, that would have been meaningful for me.
Very. I mean, Cam.
Yeah.
After the game, you could see they had Cam Hayward in the press conference. And he was really emotional. He was wearing his dad's old Atlanta jersey. So,
wow!
But the Steelers get the win, 19-16. They moved to 5-7. They've won. Guess what? 3 out of the last 4 games, Pittsburgh has won. So, guess what? Pickett did not throw an interception. Throws 1 touchdown, 197 yards. But you get the win. He managed the game well. Falcons fall to 5-8. And they're second in the NFC South at 5-8.
Just saying, Pickett don't sound like his numbers don't sound like a bust to me.
Not right now, bud. We'll see.
No.
We'll see. All right. Commanders and the Giants.
Man. I've been all right if we skip this one.
Oh, my Lord. Look, and the way it started, I was like, Commanders are jumping all over them. Commanders on a hot streak right now. I mean, they are. They really are. And they jump out to a first quarter 10-0 lead. But you guys come back in and you're tied at the half. Y'all take a 20-13 lead deep into the fourth quarter. And then Taylor Heineke leads the drive down the field, and this rookie Dotson makes a good catch across the middle and makes a heck of a spin move on one of the Giant defenders and ends up going 21 yards to tie it up and send it into overtime. Now, I saw a post from you This was not the last possession of overtime, but probably the second to last possession of overtime. Did you feel like the Giants were playing for a tie then?
I do. They were playing not to lose, and
Right.
it killed me, man. Like I was so pissed, so mad. Like I didn't understand. And another thing they did, the Giants did. Do you remember? I don't know. Did you watch the whole game?
I did not see it.
All right. So that was one play. I think it was like in the third. It was probably. I think it was in the fourth quarter. Yeah, when we were trying to get that first down, but I just kicked on third. It was four and. Let's see, what was it? 3-1. Well, three and something.
Uh-huh.
And they no, it was 3-1. That's right. Okay. They got the first down and then kicked the field goal on first down. I did not get that.
You wanted to go for it.
Yeah, like why don't if you're just trying just to get enough to get the field goal, why don't you just let
Where
them
were
throw
they?
the ball?
Where were they at? Where were they at on the field? I mean, what the yard line
I'd say like the 30ish
on
on
Washington's 30?
on Washington's territory.
I probably would have gone for it on 3rd and 1 then.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Well, I mean,
you did
you
you did
talking
all
about 4th and 1?
yeah.
Yeah, I would have gone for it probably. I would have took a chance.
But they got it, and then they went for the field goal. Like I just didn't understand.
All right. Well, sometimes
But
you don't understand some of these NFL coaches.
yeah, and I was looking at not Daniel, Brian Dable, and he said he's comfortable with his play calling and everything, but it's like, dude, you're getting mad on the field. You gotta get mad at yourself.
Well, another thing too, with the Pittsburgh game, Atlanta let 30 seconds run off the clock to get to the 2-minute warning. They had 3 timeouts. Pittsburgh had the ball. They let 30 seconds run off and go to the 2-minute warning. Just it may have made a difference.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's another first year. I think that's a first year coach there too.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Commanders end up kissing their sister. The Giant kisses their sister. They end up in a tie. And looking at the records, the Commanders are 7-5-1 and last in the division. The Giants are 7-4-1 and third in their division. So that tells you all about the NFC East, how strong the NFC East is right now.
Yeah, definitely a tough division. I remember when it was all of us sucked.
I remember it was terrible.
Yeah.
So next, moving on. The Dolphins and the 49ers, two teams, Dolphins have kind of slowed their roll a little bit. 49ers defense, man, the 49ers defense has been awesome last 4 or 5 weeks. And, really, really looking at San Francisco like a Super Bowl contending team with that defense. But unfortunately, San Francisco gets some bad news early in the game. Jimmy Garoppolo goes down with a foot injury. It comes out. It is a broken foot. And at the time, Garoppolo was feared out for the year. Tonight, though, I heard that the doctors have said his foot injury would not need surgery, so he could be back in 6 or 7 weeks, which would be about the time of the playoffs. So if you are a San Francisco fan, do you think, all right, here's your quarterback. You've lost Trey Lance. You've lost Garoppolo for a little while. Your quarterback now is Brock Purdy. You ever heard that name before?
No, I was gonna say first I'd do some research because I don't know.
Me too. Brock Purdy is the quarterback now. Do you look at, okay, as long as he can manage the game with our defense and not turn the ball over, we've got some weapons on offense. We got McCaffrey. Can they make a playoff run?
I think so. Yeah, they got a lot of weapons. It's hard not to have a. It's hard not to have a bad game with all the weapons you got in San Francisco.
The 49ers recover, though. Tua has kind of slowed down here the last few weeks here, and he's kind of
Understandably.
role too. He goes for 295, 2 TDs, 2 interceptions. Purdy does not do a bad job. 25 for 37, 210 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception. But the 49ers end up behind the defense, get a 33-17 win over the Dolphins. So 8-4 for the 49ers. They're first in the NFC West. The Dolphins go to 8-4. They're second in the AFC East. So yeah, I'm like you. I think it's going to be a lot put on that 49ers defense in the next few weeks to get to this. And but I think they're up for the challenge. They give up 7 points in the second half, and they've been giving up. They've been shutting people out in the second half for like 4 or 5 games now. So 7 points in the second half there. But watch out for the 49ers.
Yeah.
Purdy may be all right. Raiders and Chargers. Raiders on kind of a hot streak, which I didn't say much for the Raiders this year. Chargers, I don't know what to think of the Chargers. I really don't. They have the talent there, and they have the talent there where they should be contending for the AFC West. They should be one of the top teams in football, and they're just not consistent enough to do it. They come out firing. It's 13-10 Chargers at the half, but Derek Carr and Devontae Adams hook up, and they just keep hooking up. Josh Jacobs has been on a roll running the ball, 26 carries for 144 yards. He had that big run against Seattle in overtime, that 85-yard run to end the game in overtime. Devontae Adams, 8 catches, 177 yards, 2 TDs, and the Raiders get a 27-20 win over the Chargers. The Raiders have now moved their record to 5-7, third in the AFC West. Chargers are 6-6. They're at 500, second in the AFC West. I just don't. I mean, what do you think about the Chargers?
I just think they need some coaching because they got talent.
Yeah, I mean, there's all the talent in the world, and they put all that money in on defense.
Yeah, and if they keep trying to buy players, I think they're wasting their money on the wrong thing. They need to start looking at the coaches.
Yep, I agree with you, buddy. I think the coach has something's got to change there. And if I'm a Chargers owner, I'm starting to look at the coach.
Right.
Seahawks and the Rams. Of course, we talked earlier. Matthew Stafford is out probably for the year with a spinal contusion. Seattle, Geno Smith keeps definitely, in my eyes, the NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Most improved, whatever you want to call it. And this is a back and forth game. Longtime Seattle linebacker Bobby Wagner returns to play his old team in Seattle. And it's back and forth. And really, John Wolford is the quarterback for the Rams right now. I know he played a little bit last year, but he has a mediocre game. 2 interceptions, but Geno lights it up. 367 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception, including a big touchdown pass to DK Metcalf that ends up being the game winner as the Seahawks win 27-23. Seahawks are now second in the NFC West. It's 7-5. Rams, the Super Bowl Super Bowl slump or whatever you want to call it, Super Bowl curse. They're 3-9, so they're definitely not going to make the
Ooh.
playoffs. I would think so. I don't know if they're mathematically eliminated. I think they are, but at 3-9, coming off the Super Bowl year, which you lost Von Miller, you've had injuries galore, but yeah, not a good year for Sean McVay. Can he turn it around? They call him the quarterback whisperer. Can he do something with Baker Mayfield? We'll see. And what would that mean for Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, because for one thing, Matthew's getting old.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford's no
He's
spring
like,
chicken, that's for sure.
yeah, was he 29, 30?
He's in his 30s for sure.
Yeah.
Next up, this was a good game. Chiefs and the Bengals, a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow and the Bengals have got Pat Mahomes' number. They beat him twice last year, once in the playoffs, once in the regular season, both on second quarter comebacks. But is this different this year? They're playing at Cincinnati. You know, you got to think Patrick Mahomes is saying, okay, he's fired up for this game. He's ready to get that monkey off his back with the Bengals. And it looked like at first maybe he was going to do it because they were, 24-17. They had a 24-17 lead going into the fourth quarter. A big time strip of Travis Kelce gives the Bengals the ball back. Joe Burrow leads them down the field, ties it up, and then they take the lead at the end to kick a field goal. And Kansas City misses a potential game time field goal, and the Bengals end up getting the ball back and running the clock out. Here's my thing with Pat Mahomes. Watching that game, he likes the big play. No doubt about it. He likes the highlight play. That last possession, everybody's going to say, well, the kicker missed the field goal. And that's fine. Kicker, put it on the kicker and all that. But it's like a 3rd and short. Mahomes looking down the field. If he looks off in the flats, I don't know if it was a running back or what. Here's a guy wide open in the flats. Instead, Mahomes decides to try to look downfield. I believe he ended up getting sacked. If you want Travis Kelce to catch all these balls, that's fine and dandy. But if you're not going to spread it around, that's what's going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what happened to Patrick Mahomes as they lose 27-24 to the Bengals. Bengals, watch out for the Bengals. The Bengals are getting hot right now. Bengals at the right time.
Yeah, at the right time.
At the right time. It's Bengals go to 8-4, second in the AFC North. Chiefs fall to 9-3, first in the AFC West. But I'll tell you what, if I'm a betting man right now in the AFC North, I'm putting all my money on the Bengals. And guess what? I will not be unhappy if the Bengals win the AFC North. You know why? Take a guess why.
Probably because of the Ravens.
That means the Ravens won't win the AFC.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's right.
If we can't win it, I sure don't want the Ravens to win it. So, go Bengals. All right, Sunday night game. Let me get okay. In this era of TV contracts and all, the NFLs can flex a game out after a certain week if it's not doesn't look like it's going to be a competitive game. If one team's really bad and the other team's really good, they can flex out the Sunday night game and move another game to Sunday night. Okay, I'm looking at these games that were played. there's 1, 2, 3 games that could have been flexed out to Sunday night instead of this Cowboys Colts game. You got the Cowboys and the Colts. Cowboys are playing really good. Colts,
Yeah.
not so good. Why are you putting this on Sunday night? I mean, and it ended up proving my point. It was a close game for a while, but then 33 points in the fourth quarter from the Cowboys. And this game turns into an absolute blowout as the Cowboys roll 54-19. And Dak Prescott, 3 touchdowns and interception, 170 yards, nothing big. Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott benched for the first. He did not start, and I'm hearing it was because of something disciplinary. So he broke some kind of team rule. Interesting to hear what happened there, but I'm sure we'll never hear that. But yeah, Pollard ends up 12 carries, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. But Matt Ryan, you know what? Here's the thing about Matt Ryan. Go out now. You need to, after this year's over, you need to retire.
I think so too. I don't think he's getting a ring.
It's time to go. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's had his day. It's time to go. But the Cowboys move to 9-3, second in the NFC East. Colts go to 4-8-1, second in the AFC South. I reckon that's why they put that. Oh, you had the number 2 teams in 2 divisions playing each other. Yeah. But that doesn't mean
Yeah. There's 2 different divisions.
The Cowboys could have like a 3-game lead in the AFC South right now with their record. So, and then you had the Monday night game. I sat there. We went to the Northeast basketball game. We got home. Game was on. I'm looking. I'm like, I'm watching, like I said, the Peyton and Eli telecast of it, and they're talking about how Tampa Bay's struggling, and they were. I mean, it was ugly, and it was. I mean, the Saints are not a good team. That's my point. The Saints are pretty much dominating the Buccaneers, and it gets to 16-3, and I'm like, I'm sitting there watching. I go to bed, and I think how much time was left. It wasn't much. It was like 8 or 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter when I went to bed, and I wake up this morning and I look, and there's Tom Brady with a comeback, and it's.
Of
I
course.
get text messages. It's 17. They get a 17-16 come from behind win. Brady throws a touchdown with 3 seconds left to pretty much seal the deal. And okay, yeah, he's the GOAT. I'll admit that. Tom Brady's the GOAT. That's fine. Great comeback. But nobody's talking about why the heck were you down 16-3 to the Saints to start with. That team looked terrible for three and a half quarters. They looked terrible. Nothing was going right.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints are 4-8, and you're losing them by 2 touchdowns at your home field. Don't anybody come out and say this is the turnaround game for Brady. And I've been hesitant to say in the last few years, when something like this would happen, that don't say he's going to turn it around, because he has turned around. But now with this team he's got, don't say, oh yeah, Brady's going to lead them to the Super Bowl one last time. It's not going to happen, guys. I'm sorry. No matter how great that comeback was last night, and it was a great moment, that may be the final act in Tom Brady's illustrious career. Don't get me wrong, as I'm not a fan, but he is the GOAT. I'll give him that. But that coming back from 13 down to beat the Saints on your home field, the lowly Saints, is not something that makes you say Tom Brady's back. The Buccaneers are back. Watch out for the Buccaneers. No, I'm not saying that. But the Bucks get the win. They're 6-6, first in the NFC South. Saints are 4-9, fourth in the NFC South. So they'll probably win their division, and they'll get in the playoffs. But I don't think you see much more after that. I think it's going to be an early exit, unless something drastically changes in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Not the Saints anyway.
All right, so we made a little post, a video earlier. I went on Facebook Live. You can find it on all of the Facebook pages and the Final Score, on the fly, my personal page, about these T-shirts. Check these T-shirts out, guys. Final Score T-shirts. Matthew was kind enough to donate some T-shirts, and we're going into Week 14 in the NFL. Thursday night games tomorrow night. And what we want you to do, if possible, we have a giveaway if you like and share and join the Final Score Facebook group. That's one thing. But if you get your picks in and you have the most picks out of anybody, you win a T-shirt. Simple as that. All you have to do is make your picks. Send them to the Final Score 7399@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Facebook or Twitter with your picks, all your Week 14 picks. Simple as that. I mean, a lot of you guys do that anyway for like your sheets. I know Matthew does sheets every week.
Mm-hmm. All you gotta do is take a photo.
All you got to do is take a photo. You don't have to write out. Take a photo and send it to me of that sheet. We can go by that. Whatever way you want to do it, just get your picks in. So let's get right into Week 14, Matthew. Let me pull up my. Let me see. Thursday night game, we talked about that a little bit earlier. The Raiders and the Rams. Baker Mayfield could be making a starting debut. What do you think, Matthew? Who you got?
I got the Rams.
You got the Rams?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
Interesting.
I can't have that much faith in the Raiders again. Not yet.
I'm gonna pick the Raiders. Raiders on a hot streak right now. I'm gonna pick the Raiders.
They are.
All right. Whew, that was a surprise there. I thought for sure we. Yeah. Steelers and Ravens.
Oh.
No Lamar.
Yeah, no Lamar.
Lamar is they said week to week and would probably not play on Sunday.
I'm going with the Steelers because Ravens ain't got nobody else.
Okay. Oh boy, we're gonna lose for sure. You picked them. I picked the Steelers. Titans and Jaguars.
Oh, I can't wait to see this game, but I hope Titans win. And I think they'll get it.
So you picked the Titans.
Yep.
I'm gonna pick the Jaguars here. Titans just fired their GM for some reason. I don't know what the reason was, but I got a feeling it had to do with the fact that he traded A.J. Brown away, and then A.J. Brown put it right to him. So I think the Titans organization's like, yeah, why'd you trade him away? So
yeah,
I'm gonna pick the Jaguars here. I think I'm going for the upset here. All right, Vikings and Lions.
I'm saying the Vikings.
Oh, I'm picking.
I think.
Go ahead.
You're going for Detroit.
Give me your reason on the what you think about the Vikings. Why do you think the Vikings can win?
Vikings has always seemed to get it done.
Okay.
Sometimes. I think I also like Kirk Cousins. I think I like to give him more credit than what he deserves. To be honest with you,
I hear you there.
Yeah. So
that being said, I'm going with the upset. I'm going with Detroit.
Okay.
At Detroit. Yep.
Okay.
I think they're going to win. I think they're going to do it. All right. This should be interesting right here. Eagles and Giants.
Man, you know who I want to win, but the Eagles probably get it because we're just too sloppy. But go Giants.
You're playing at your home field.
Yeah, but we couldn't even beat Washington, and Washington beat the Eagles.
Okay, so you're picking the Eagles, huh?
I'm picking Eagles if we're going for money.
I hear you. Jets and the Bills.
Bills just don't impress me like that.
Oh.
But I'm still going for the Bills.
Oh darn! I was hoping you would.
Yep.
All right, I'm picking the Bills here too. I'll be shocked on this one if you don't pick who I think you do. Texans and the Cowboys.
Oh, definitely the Texans, hands down.
All right, I'm putting you down on it.
Hands down. No. Okay, no.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. The Cowboys.
Yeah.
Bengals and the Browns.
Bengals. I think the Bengals are about to get on their hot streak.
Yeah, I do too. But Chiefs and the Broncos. Whew.
Russell Wilson's playing like an animal right now.
Not a good animal either.
Not a good one yet. Chiefs.
All right. Bucks and the 49ers. Buccaneers and 49ers.
49ers.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be an easy game.
I'm picking the 49ers to win that. Panthers and the Seahawks.
Seahawks. Geno Smith is just incredible right now.
Yeah, didn't he used to play for the Giants?
Yep.
Why'd y'all let him go?
Wait. Ain't no telling. Did he play? Wait, did he play with the Giants?
I think so. Is he the one that ended Eli's starting streak?
I don't think so.
Well, who?
Unless my memory just went gone. Like maybe.
Hold on.
I don't think so. That was Daniel because Eli picked Daniel.
No. Hold on. We're gonna find out right here. Come on, bring up his. Played for the Giants in 2017.
Wow. Why don't I remember that?
Yeah, he played 1 year. I want to say I'm almost positive he was the one that ended Eli's starting streak. But I may be wrong. If somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, somebody please do because I don't know. I don't know where my mind went. That right there. Still don't remember.
Dolphins and the Chargers.
I think the Chargers could beat them, but Miami.
Yeah, I got.
Chargers always find a way to lose.
And then we go to Monday night, Patriots and Cardinals in the who cares game.
Right. I don't even. I'm saying the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm picking the Cardinals there.
Yeah.
So I want to throw out this time we're going to give a little shout out to a couple of local businesses that people might want to check out. First of all is My Dear Watson. It's a gift shop, and I'm a little biased because it's my great niece runs this shop, Caitlin Hewitt. She's taken it on in the last. She just opened it up a couple months ago, but it's got a little bit of everything in there. You'll find a lot of little knickknacks, some clothes. I'm looking at the stuff for your house. Good Christmas presents, unless you're like Matthew and you already finished up, little turd. Yeah, you'll find some Christmas presents. You can get gift certificates there. Check them out over there at My Dear Watson. They are in a Hosky on 233 East Modern Road in a Hosky. I think they open from you have to check their hours on they're on Facebook. I think a lot of times they're open 11 to 7. Some days are different hours, but check them out on Facebook. give them a like on Facebook and tell them the final score sent you. And then one of my favorite places, I hardly miss a week going to this place, Hometown Nutrition. Best place if you want to get your energy shakes or energy drinks, teas. They're getting ready they just started today their holiday menu for the holiday flavors, Christmas menu. And you listen to this and tell me this doesn't make you want to go get one right now, Matthew. The
Okay.
energy, the these are protein shakes. Excuse me. These are the flavors: white chocolate, peppermint bark. That's one. Snickerdoodle. Okay. Frozen hot chocolate.
That sounds good. Yeah, that one does.
Frosted gingerbread. And then
What was it?
frosted gingerbread.
Hmm.
And then Christmas tree cake. That's your shakes. And then the energy drinks. I don't know what kind of flavors they are, but there's one called Star of Bethlehem, Holly Jolly, Santa Baby, Jack Frost, Grinch, and Frosty. But you can go over there, and if you're, if you guys want to get your favorite sports podcast host Christmas present, a gift certificate to Hometown Nutrition would be good. They've got those. Check them out. They are located on 903 East Memorial Drive in Ahoskie, right next to Shules. And if you remember the old license plate place over in Ahoskie, they're right next to that. But you get great service over there from those ladies. And look, they know me and my daughter really well now, because I think they would think something was really wrong if we didn't show up for a week. They'd be concerned. But yeah, check these guys out. Hometown Nutrition and My Dear Watson. If you're in the area, if you're in the Northampton, Hertford County area, check them out. Keep shopping local. Check them out. Good Christmas presents, like I said. All right. So we've already talked about it. We're going to emphasize it again. The T-shirt. Like I said, we had the post where you could share, like, and join our Facebook group at the Final Score, and we will pick a winner after we get to 1,000. And if I see we're not going to get to 1,000 within a reasonable time, I'll cut it off and we'll just pick a winner, and somebody will get a T-shirt. But I want to get to 1,000 on that Facebook group, and then if you make your picks, like I said, send it in, DM it. If it's just one of your sheets that you do every week for the pool, send me the picture of it. You can send it right here on my Facebook group at the Final Score. You can email me at the Final Score 7399 at gmail.com. Or if you're on Twitter listening right now, you want to send it to me on Twitter, that's fine too. Send it to me on Twitter. The last thing we're going to do today, me and Matthew, this is new to the show, and we're going to do this every week at the end. We're going to rank who we think our top 5 teams in the NFL are right now. And Matthew, I'm going to let you start off with the fifth team. We're going to go from 5 to 1.
From 5 to 1?
Yeah, who you got at number 5?
Okay, hold on one second. Let me find my notes. I wrote this down so I can be prepared, and I'm not even prepared.
Shame on you.
I know, man. I'm such a Jenkins. All right, I found it. You finally got that.
I got it. Took me a minute.
All right.
I didn't hear you right at first, but I heard you.
Okay, my 5th team is Miami Dolphins.
All right, my 5th team is the Cincinnati Bengals. Who's number 4?
Buffalo Bills.
Number 4 for me is 49ers. And that's just because Garoppolo's out.
I'm gonna tell you, number 5 for me was between Miami and Cincinnati. I picked Miami.
I got you. All right, number 3.
Dallas Cowboys. It makes me want to puke, but Dallas Cowboys.
That's who I got as well. It's number 3 is Cowboys. Number 2.
I got 49ers.
All right, we're flip flopping a little bit. I've got I got the Bills at number 4. I mean number 2.
You mean number 2? Yeah.
All right, number one. I think we're going to be unanimous on this.
I mean, you got to give it to them because of their record, but Philly.
Yep. I'll say Philly's got to be the top team right now.
Yeah, and looks like only getting stronger. They're looking at some,
they overcame that loss and had a little.
Yeah.
They had a little struggle with the Colts, but they got back on track last week, and that could be scary for we'll see. Could be another Super Bowl coming to Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think I read the wrong one. So my number 5 of the top best teams in the NFL
Oh gosh.
is Pittsburgh Steelers.
What are you brown nosing for?
Then the New York Giants.
Oh, here we go with the fake.
Then the with the fake. Okay.
It's
Okay. Then I got
the Giants are number 4.
You know what? Because I was gonna say my number 1 was Houston Texans.
What are we doing? Draft pick order?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what it is.
I was going to say that's got to be the draft pick order, not the rankings.
No, not at all.
All right, so that's going to do it for this week on the Final Score, guys. But keep on watching, and like I said, check out the post. Check out my posts out there. Like, share, join the Facebook group for your chance to enter to win a free T-shirt. We also, this is something we want to do too. We want to get a fan from each team, and I know it's going to be hard to find, and we may just have to get somebody to do some of these teams, like for instance the Houston Texans. We want to do a list, a top 10 list of your favorite from each team, all 32 teams. Yes, I'll even do a Baltimore Ravens or a New England Patriots. But if you're a fan of that team and you want to come on the show, you're not scared to come up here and talk football with me and Matthew, and we want you to get on and do your top 10 list. Of course, Steelers and Giants. I've got somebody, I think, for the Patriots right now. I'm pretty sure we can get somebody for the Giants and somebody pretty close to Matthew. I think we can get him on the show.
Thanks, sir.
Who I'm talking about.
That'd be good.
Yeah, that would be a good one. But yeah, that's something we want to do. We want to do more than just be a recap. We're going to do some top 10 lists. We're going to do some flashbacks. I may have to get Matthew to use his head for more than just a punching bag and go research on some of the older NFL games. We may talk about some Super Bowl games. You know what we should do? We'll talk about some of the old Super Bowl games. You can pretty much go on YouTube and see all the Super Bowl games. As far back as I don't know how far back, but like the first Giants win in the Super Bowl against the Broncos. We'll do some of the great NFL games if we can.
That'd be cool.
All right, guys. So, like I said, that's going to do it for this week. Matthew,
yes, sir.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to sing anymore.
Keep going.
My microphone is already about to fall off the hinges right now. No, really.
Yeah,
somebody has already offered me a record contract from just that right then. I just got an email right then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I was hearing a lot of static, or is that you singing?
Oh, I thought you were saying kind of like a dog had been hit by a car out there. But
no, it don't sound that good.
Oh. Good one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. But I hope you have a good birthday. I know you're taking some time off of work. I hope I didn't let the cat out of the bag there for your employer. There, you didn't call it. You can tell him I'm gonna be sick.
That'd be all right.
Yeah. Anyway,
okay.
everybody, make sure you wish Matthew a happy birthday tomorrow. And buddy, I hope you have many more. And
thank you.
Thank you for everything you do for us and being on the show with us.
No problem, man. And hope I can be up here many, many more times.
Well, we're planning on it. We're planning on it, bud. All right, guys. You guys have a great week. And that's the final score.